She is Tanya Alvarado, and she is the owner of Salon, Posh, and Posh Suites. As you can see, the Instagram is also located there on the screen at posh.suites.fresno. And Tanya, welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody.
How are you this morning?
I am great.
You made the drive, 40 minutes or so to get over here?
About 45 minutes.
Is this your first time in Hanford?
No, it's not. I've
Okay.
been here, but I don't come very often.
So tell me a little bit about the journey to get started with Salon Posh, Posh Suites. I always like to know how people got motivated to start something like this or create their own business. I want to know your journey. How did it start?
Well, my journey started about 10 years ago, and I worked in the industry at a salon, and I knew that I wanted to eventually own mine in the future. And I was there about 4 months and said, this is not for me. I need to own my own business. I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. And I went off and helped a friend of mine run their shop for about 2 years. And I said, okay, I'm ready. And I just went on Craigslist. This is crazy because it was like meant to be. I went on Craigslist and I typed in salons. And the salon popped up. It was a small salon, about 750 square feet. And I called the number right away, not even thinking twice about it. I spoke to the landlord. He's like, wow, I just posted this post maybe 30 minutes ago, and you're the first person that calls. I said, well, I want it. And he's like, well, have you seen it? I was like, no. I said, I just want it. So when can I check it out? And he's like, come by Monday, check it out, and then let me know if you still want it. So after I hung up with him, I went over and I checked it out, and I said, this is perfect. It's small. It was ready to go. I didn't have to invest any money. And I said, this is calling my name. So I called him. I said, I want it. When can I start? And he's like, okay, well, have you ever rented anything before? I was like, yes, just trying to make it sound good for him. And I finally met him, and I signed. And believe me, I was terrified, but it's been a crazy, amazing journey to own my own business. And, 5 years down the line, this is where I'm at today. And now I'm opening my second business. And it's been a great journey, just a lot of learning experiences. But the way I see things is if you struggle to get something that you've always wanted, you learn to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. And I love that you just said that, because there's a lot of people that are listening right now that eventually could want to do the exact same thing you did, but it just takes that risk.
Yes.
You gotta go forward with it, and you gotta see, will you fail? Will you succeed? And if you fail, hey, pick yourself right back up and try something else, but you got to try it.
You got to try it.
And I'm glad that you brought that up here this morning. Now, you said second location. So for 5 years, you've been at your first location, and where's that located?
It's in the Tower District.
Okay.
The second location is right next to it. It's just 3 times bigger than the location that I have now.
Okay, so just to clarify, the one that you've had is in the Tower District.
Yes.
And that's been there for 5 years, but this second location is the building right next to it.
It's the same building, just the suite right next to it.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Now, when you went back to the owner of the building, did you say, hey, I want the next one right next door too?
Well, the funny thing behind that is when I got the first one, he's like, so a year later when I was signing my next lease, because I only did it for a year because, of course, I didn't know what was going to happen. He's like, so are you ready to rent next door? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not there yet. He's like, you're going to do so good. I promise you a few years down the line, you're going to take the whole building. I would never have thought that I would even get next door.
Wow.
A year into my first business. So when I did call him inquiring about next door, because I knew the people were going to be leaving, he's like, what did I tell you? And I said, well, George, I didn't believe in myself then, but now I am 1,000% sure that I can do it.
He believed in you.
Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
no, it's weird how sometimes we have people that come around us that can see things for our future that we don't see yet.
Exactly.
But there's people that believe in us that go, I see something in that person. They're going to do something special. And until you get there, then you realize, man, I should have listened to them the whole time.
Yes.
But like I said, everybody takes their own journey to get there. You know, you got to get there first. So now, second location opening. You and I were talking about how Salon Posh and Posh Suites could be related to as being different than just your regular salon. You're looking to create a full experience with your newest business and also attached to the old business as well. Tell me a little bit about what this new business and the grand opening is going to be like and what your vision is.
Well, the grand opening is February 26th. This is going to be different from my first business because, one, we are going to have a lash bar like you have not seen in LA, Vegas, anywhere in the world.
Wow.
You're going to come in and you're just going to relax, and it's going to have suites as well. You know, we all are familiar with the Salon suites, and it's just suites. So we have suites, but we also have a running salon with open stations that are not in a suite. And the biggest part that I'm very excited to talk about is we're going to be offering advanced education for stylists that cannot travel to LA, cannot go to San Francisco because of, you know, other priorities in their life. And my goal is to be able to bring people from all these places all around the world to come and educate people like myself, because I'm very big on education. You know, if it's once a week or once every 2 weeks, that's the main focus. Or if somebody in the Central Valley, you know, would like to teach a class, whether it's makeup, hair cutting, microblading, you name it, that room is there for anybody that wants to teach.
Wow. No, that is so awesome. And one thing that you mentioned right now was that you don't have to go to San Francisco. You don't have to go to LA. You can do it right here in Fresno, in Central California. And I was talking about that earlier because there's a big Grizzly Fest that they're having controversy with at Woodward Park right now in Fresno.
Yes.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes, I have.
But, you know, there's people that are trying to stop it, and the poor, you know, promoters are trying to do whatever they can to keep it. And one of the things that I was mentioning to my listeners and viewers was that instead of putting a wall to stop these things, or instead of preventing us from growing in that way because of certain music or artists or whatever might be the case that people are offended by, let's allow for these things to take place. Let's build on Central California so this way people don't have to say, I have to go to LA or I have to go to San Francisco in order to do this, you know,
Yes.
or in order to enjoy this or this amenity or whatever might be the case. And that's the goal with the Cosmetology and Barber Expo of Central California coming up in about 16 days. The goal is that instead of going to Long Beach, instead of going to Las Vegas, which you can still go to and enjoy those,
Yes.
but at least now you got something here at home. You got something here in Central California. And speaking of that, I want to know your thoughts on how important it is for an event like this, Cosmetology and Barber Expo, to be right here in our backyard.
I think it's very important because I find myself defending my industry left and right. People don't understand what goes behind a successful hairstylist or barber. People need to understand, in order to make it in this industry, you have to be self-motivated and most of all passionate of what you do, whether you're a barber, stylist, makeup artist, you name it. Because every single day we get attacked by people, well, that's not a real career. Why don't you just go work at a hospital? Why don't you just go work, you know, for the union or whatever the case may be, you know? So 5% of stylists after 3 years make it in this industry. So that should tell people, if she's been doing it for 3, 5, 6, 7 years, obviously she's passionate about it. So it's very important so people could come out and see what goes behind it. It's not just glamming somebody up. It's making them feel beautiful, whether they're getting married or going to a special event. You know, it takes time to be able to deliver a good haircut, great makeup, good color. You know, it's important for people to come out and check that out and see that there's passion behind the industry.
And on top of that, you get to be one-on-one with a future client possibly.
Yes.
So they can talk to the owner of Salon Posh and Posh Suites right there at the Cosmetology and Barber Expo and chat and ask you all the questions they want, right?
Exactly.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that, are just maybe are shy about, starting with a new salon or don't know how to go about that, and they want to see, their options,
Yes.
Because I feel like when you make a dramatic change to your look,
Yes.
it could change your life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, but I think a lot of people sometimes are comfortable with just their look they've always had for their whole life.
Yes.
Not realizing that they can, change that. And you're there to help as a salon and people that are there that are professionals that want to, like you said, make someone look beautiful, whether you're guy or female, and walk out of there just feeling confident, right?
Yes, like $1 million.
So, okay, before you go, tell our listeners and viewers, how do they get in touch with you? Salon Posh and Posh Suites, all the information, phone number, Twitter, address, and all that good stuff.
You can find both of my businesses. What Salon Posh is under and on Instagram at salon.posh.fresno, and Posh Suites is under at posh.suites.fresno. Salon Posh's phone number is 559-496-0987. We also have a Facebook page for both of them, Salon Posh and Posh Suites.
Now, tell me a little bit about your motivation. How do you get motivated every day? Because you got so much on your plate, and I'm like, man, I feel the energy right now of leadership and motivation. What motivates you?
What motivates me is just getting up every day and saying, how am I going to make this day better than yesterday? How am I going to be able to put a smile on somebody's face, or somebody's going to go on my Instagram and be like, wow, she's really passionate about her work. So I'm always trying to better myself just so I can put out the good energy out there. So that's how I motivate myself every single day, just being able to put a smile on somebody's face.
And what's your work day like? Like, I mean, do you get home at like midnight and fall asleep and then wake up at 4 in the morning? What type of, do you get rest?
What is that?
Team no sleep.
No, let's see. Well, my day starts typically right now. I get up at 6 in the morning, make my breakfast, and I get ready and I go to work. I'm there from 8 to 7, which is the hours that we're open, and I try to go home right after, but there's always errands to run, and then I get home, prepare whatever it is I need for the next day, and then go to sleep and then do it all over again. I'm a big fan of working out, but I don't have time right now, at least until my grand opening.
No, I know. And then you see those memes that people put up. Well, Beyonce has the same amount of hours as everybody else. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
She's got personal trainers and all that stuff.
Yes.
And people cooking for her the right meals.
Exactly.
And we don't have all that.
We don't got Beyonce money.
Anyways, thank you so much. You've said it all this morning. Salon Posh, Posh Suites. Once again, let our listeners and viewers know how they get in touch with you.
At 559-496-0987, or you can find us on Instagram at posh.suites.fresno or salon.posh.fresno. That's where you can find us at.
There it is. And the grand opening is February 26th.
February 26th. It's a Monday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Stop by. There's going to be food, drinks. It's going to be a good time.
So we're going to enjoy that whole weekend for the Cosmetology and Barber Expo. Next day, on Monday after the expo, we party with you.
Yes.
There it
We're
is.
going to party all night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tanya, thank you so very much for joining us. Eggs, Bacon, and Joey. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.